Hi everybody, this is Celeste. I'm a Nationally Certified Interventionist, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about a misconception that I hear about quite often. I've worked in the addiction field for a couple of years now, and one thing that I hear very often is that treatment for addiction is just about treating the drug or alcohol problem. And in my experience in working with people who struggle with addiction, whether they're still in active addiction or in recovery, more often than not, I would say probably 9 out of 10 people that I talk to have either a mental health issue or a history of past trauma, or a combination of the two. And I see a lot of people that come into treatment and potentially fail their first or second time around because either their mental health or their trauma issues aren't being addressed in treatment. So I'm a strong proponent of dealing with the underlying causes of the addiction, because a lot of times those mental health issues and the past trauma are one of the major causes of addiction. And the addiction itself is just a symptom of the pain that goes on with a mental health concern or past trauma that hasn't been resolved or properly treated. And sometimes the person isn't even aware that they're struggling with mental health because it's so normalized to them, or they've maybe put the trauma on a back burner somewhere and just maybe they're working too much, they're drinking, they're drugging, they're doing all these things that as a coping mechanism, because that's all they know how to do is to drink or work or pretend it didn't happen or pretend the mental health concern isn't there. So I'm a big proponent of dealing with the underlying trauma and the underlying mental health concerns that people in addiction are struggling with. Because I really firmly believe that that's the key to success, is finding a way to deal with those issues in an effective way. And there is no one effective way that's going to work for 100% of the people. There are treatments out there. There's things like cognitive behavioral therapy, there's talk therapy, things like that. There's medications that people can take to help with mental health. But it's finding that right combination for that person. So some people don't do well on medication. Some people don't respond to CBT. Some people don't respond to talk therapy. So sometimes it's a lot of trial and error and finding out what's going to work for that one person. So, and that's part of what I do too, is I try to find out what's going on for that person, whether it's the person that's actually in addiction or a family member. I try to find out what's going on beneath the surface so that when they go into treatment, they can start to address some of the traumas or some of their underlying mental health concerns. So because that is such a key component to successful recovery. So, and if you guys have more questions about that, you're more than welcome to contact me. My phone number is posted on the page, or you can message me as well, and we can talk about your situation and find out what's going to be most effective for you or the person you love. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm Celeste. Have a good night.